good afternoon, library friends. Happy Saturday. Welcome to our kids' STEAM class. So remember, STEAM is science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Our project today has, I think, a little bit of each of those in it, which is really great. And this project is going to help us get prepared for Groundhog Day, which is coming up next week on February 2nd. So get ready with our project today to do some Groundhog Day experimenting of your own, and we'll be ready to do it because we are going to make our own little Punxsutawney Phil groundhog that we can take outside on Groundhog Day and see if our groundhog sees his shadow or not. So this is going to be fun. This project is a take and make kit. So if you haven't already, contact the library, and if we have some kits left, give us a call or a text and tell us how many you'd like, and we'll get your kit out for you on our curbside pickup table. You can pick it up, it'll have your name on it, and you will be ready to go. Inside your kit, you're going to find a book that I've already cut the spine labels off. I've already taken the cover off and cut this into the size you're going to need for your book folding project. So you're going to find a chunk of a book in there. You're going to find some construction paper inside. There's going to be some black, white, and red. You don't need very much, and I've given you, I think, more than enough for even if mistakes, because I always make mistakes when I'm first cutting things out. So there's that. You're also going to find a little black button for the nose and a brown pom-pom for the tail. There will also be a little black plastic cup. We're going to turn this into the hat for our groundhog. So those are the items that will be in your kit. There will also be a bookmark in your kit that tells you some really fun and crazy facts about Groundhog Day. And the other side will give you a picture of what your project might look like, and it'll remind you to watch this video. So you can use this as a bookmark when you're done, and then see if your friends know some of these cool Groundhog Day facts, or maybe surprise your family with some of those. So you've got all the things you're going to need in your kit. The only thing you will need probably from home is just a pair of scissors and some glue. And really any kind of glue works. I used a hot glue gun and a glue stick, but whatever glue you have at home will be perfect. So the trickiest part of our project is the book folding, and it really isn't that tricky, but I want to show you how that goes. So with the chunk of book that I've given you inside your take and make kit, you are going to start folding. This part takes a little while. Your hands and fingers might cramp. Give yourself a break if they do. There's going to be about 150 pages in your book chunk, so you've got about 150 pages to fold for our project. But when you're done, let me show you what our groundhog will look like. There he is. I have not glued the hat on yet, but there's his hat. Here he is. There's his little fuzzy tail on the back and his button nose, and he has some little feet. There he is on the bottom. You can see the feet. And he is ready for me to take him outside on February 2nd, Groundhog Day, and I get to see here in Idaho if he sees his shadow. So I'm going to set him aside and let you and show you how to do the book folding. So with your book, you're going to take your first page of the book and just fold it completely in half. Bring it back to where that ripped out spine of your book is. So bring it back flat. Then with one end of that corner of the flat piece that you folded back, we're going to go all the way down to where the spine is. We're just going to fold that piece back just a little bit. This kind of gets you started because your next pages you can follow this shape that you made. Now for the back side, this is going to make the back end where our tail is going to go on our groundhog. So as you can see, his back end has just got that little tiny corner fold. The front end goes that fold goes all the way down to his nose. So remember, the back end does not go all the way down. It's just a little bit of a fold to make him kind of a rounded shape in the back. And then we've got this steeper fold that goes all the way down to the spine to make that flat, bushy front. that groundhogs have. So that's your first, those are your first folds. Once you've made those, like I said, you can just kind of push that out of the way, and let's do our next one. We're just going to follow the same exact pattern all the way through. So fold that in half, come down to the spine, and just fold a little angle. Then you can check it and see if you folded it deep enough. Compare it to your first one. Looks pretty good, right? I adjusted it just a little bit, but now we've got two folds that match. And then in the back, I'm gonna do the same thing. Just a little bit of fold on the corner. And when I'm done, I can line them up and check it and see if I got a similar fold for the back. Looks good. Now, if you have your fingernail or maybe even just a pencil or something, you can make a nice sharp crease on those folds. That helps if they're nice and crisp. Then it makes our project look really good. So just keep going, same idea. And yours might look just a little different than mine depending on how you fold yours, which is totally fine because not every groundhog looks exactly the same. So the tail is that little fold on the corner. I'm gonna match it up. Yep, that looks pretty good. There's my tail, and then on that page, I'm gonna come all the way down to the front of the spine, but I'm not bringing this fold all the way to here. So I'm just bringing just a little bit of a fold. I want to make sure I match up with my other ones. I can adjust it. Perfect. So now you can see the start of my groundhog taking shape. So here's the front of his face, and there is where his tail is going to go in the back. You're just going to keep folding and folding. So don't forget to do that half fold first, and then bring that fold down for the face to the corner, and just a little fold for the tail in the back. Just keep going and going and going, and pretty soon you will have, here's my spine, and this part is kind of torn or whatever. It doesn't matter because we're not even going to see it. It's going to be sitting down on the table or on a shelf just like that. When I take him outside on February 2nd to test if he sees a shadow, or if I see a shadow that he's creating, then I can just set him down on the ground carefully. I'm trying not to get him dirty because I'm going to save him on my bookcase, and I'm going to put his hat on, and he'll be ready to go. So once you get all those folds done, then remember I showed you in your kit is going to be a black piece of construction paper, and that's going to be used to make the feet. So I just made some cute little feet, kind of with 3 little bumps there and a flat side. So there's my feet. You're also going to use that black construction paper to cut out some circles for the eyes and a bigger circle to make the ears. And I'll show you that in just a second. So to do my feet, I took my piece of construction paper and folded it like this. This kind of made all the feet the same, but you can do it however you like. This just seemed like a good way to have all the feet look the same. So I took it, folded, and then folded one more time in half like that. And then I just took a pen and drew out how I wanted those feet to look. If you're really good at cutting, then you could just freestyle cut and your feet would look great. So it looks pretty good, right? That looks about how I want it. So now I'm just gonna cut these out. Let's see if I can just adjust a little. I didn't get that exactly how I wanted. So now when I cut the feet out, I should have, because I folded that, I should end up with 4 feet that look the same. Is that cool? So here's my feet, and then all you're gonna do is just a little bit of glue and glue the feet down to your book. I did the one on the back fold, or the front, right on that front fold, so that you can see them sticking out right here by his face, which is pretty cute. And then the back ones I just put sticking out like that. So you can glue your feet down. Those are a little bit bigger than I made the feet on him. I might want to adjust those, but maybe I like that bigger. So however you want, those are your feet. And then you're just going to do 2 circles for the eyes. And to make your circles the same, you can fold your paper in half and just cut out 2 circles. This is a cool way to make the things that you're cutting out the same exact shape and size, is just to cut 2 at the same time. So there's some eyes, and I happen to have a silver Sharpie that I made the inside of his eyes with. But that's why I included a little piece of white paper for you, because we can just make that circle too. So I'm going to fold that in half and use my trick to just cut out 2 little white circles that are going to go in the middle of his eyes. And that'll be kind of like maybe the sun shining off of his little black eyes. There we go. You can make that however you like, and then just glue those down. And like I said, I just used a little silver Sharpie. If you have one, that's great. If not, that's what the white is for. So you can make cute little eyes with the center being the white part. Now you've got that black button so that you can glue your black button on. And this is after you get all those pages folded. So then you're going to glue the black button on for the nose and the brown fluffy tail on the back side where you just had that small fold, the back end of the groundhog. Now to make the ears, and this is how I did my ears. I did a big circle. Let me see if I can remember what I did. Here we go. So I think what I did was I folded in half so my ears would be the same. And then I just kind of made, on the fold, I just made sort of a half of a football shape on that folded edge. And I cut that out. Here we go. And it's okay if they're kind of long. And then I'm going to cut on that fold so that I get 2 ears. Now, what I'm going to do is take that fold, right where I had cut the fold. Now we've got just this half of a football shape, and I'm going to just fold it in half. So now I've got those 2, fold it in half. This becomes your ear. Now you're going to glue a little bit here. It's kind of hard to see, isn't it? We're going to glue a little bit on this side and glue a little bit on this side. And then we can stick that between the pages wherever we want to make the ear. So I made mine here. So if I glued this ear down in here, and then it kind of opens back up to an ear shape, which is pretty cool. So you're going to put a little bit of glue here and a little bit there. Stick it in where you think that ear should go, and then squeeze it in, and then you can kind of reshape that ear and open it just a little bit. Oops, now I lost mine, but you can see the ones I've already put in there. I've opened them just a little bit so they look like cute little ears, little 3D ears. So now he's almost ready. We've got all the body parts on. Now we're going to make a fancy hat. You've got a couple choices you could make with our red strip of construction paper that's in your kit. You can make a bow and maybe make this into a really cute girl hedgehog with a red bow in her hair. Easy way to make a bow, and you should have enough if you want to try both, is to just carefully cut out a couple triangles. And this is how I made the bow on his hat. But if you were going to make a big bow for the hair, you could just cut out 2 triangles that are connected together. And I could put a little bit of glue and make a super cute little hedgehog girl with the bow in her hair. So maybe it's good I haven't glued the hat on yet, because I may want to switch it out. So another way to add a little bit of fun to your bow, if you have a little bit of that white left from cutting out the center of the eyes, you can just cut a little chunk that would go maybe in the center of the bow, like this, and make it really even cuter. And you could glue that down, and now you've got a center of the bow for her hair. And there, we're just going to glue that in, and now we've got a really cute girl hedgehog. I can take that off, and we can make our funny top hat for our beautiful groundhog. So take your black cup, and again, I just made a tinier red bow, not as big as I made this one. So if you have a little bit of your red left, I did the same thing, and I just cut in a couple little triangles, cut them in, cut in some triangles on this side. I leave the little bit of that center there connected, so I end up with a bow shape with my 2 rectangles. There it is. Okay, so I glued that on to the hat, and then I took a little bit of the black and made a circle to go right in the middle of my bow to make it even fancier. So there is my hat, and then glue your bow tie on to your hat. And now you have a really cute hat to put on to our groundhog for Groundhog Day. Is that great? So I can either do that or I can put the bow on. Perfect. And this will look great. It'll be a fun way to take it outside. So just remember a few things about Groundhog Day. If you've never celebrated Groundhog Day or you don't know about Groundhog Day, like I said, there's some facts here that are in this bookmark that'll be in your kit. And something to remember is when you take your groundhog outside, if your groundhog or you see a shadow around your groundhog, that means there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter weather. If you don't see any shadow around the groundhog, that means springtime might just be coming early. So this is kind of a silly and fun way to predict the weather. Of course, it may or may not work, but it's something fun to think about, something fun to think about maybe getting ready for spring. Will spring come early? Will it not? Tell me what you think when you try your groundhog out outside. Tell me if you saw a shadow or not. And I'm going to try it at my house too. And I will post on February 2nd whether I saw a shadow. And you guys can let me know if you see a shadow with your groundhog too. Also, I would love it if you post a picture of the groundhog that you make, because I think all of ours are going to look slightly different depending on how we fold it, how we make our feet or eyes or tail, or if we make a hat or a bow tie. They will each look a little bit different. So please post a picture of the one that you make. I hope you enjoy this take and make kit. This was really fun to put together. And then let's do some experimenting on February 2nd and see if we can find a shadow around our groundhog. Have a wonderful Groundhog Day and enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you next time. Bye-bye.